Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Uh, Today we will discuss about the today is the last lecture, and today we are going to discuss about the power of lens, and we are going to understand the logic behind the power that a lens carries and how to do the numericals based on that. So today's topic is what? Today's topic is power of a lens. Now let's try to understand this concept from the basics, because your basics needs to be very clear. Then only this concept will become clear to you. Hopefully you have seen all the previous videos, okay, all the 9 videos related to it, and today is the last video of this lecture. Now what we know about lens? What we know? A lens can deviate a ray of light from the original path. We know this thing. A lens can deviate a ray of light from its original path. Suppose we take a convex lens or we take a concave lens. In both the situations, what happens? If I take a ray of light, suppose it's coming like this, or over here coming like this, then this ray can deviate it where? Inwards, like it will deviate it inwards. And this ray can deviate it where? Outward. This ray can deviate it outward. So these two things we know. Now the amount of deviation a lens can do, is expressed in terms of power. That is what you have to know. Some lenses can deviate the rays more, some lenses can deviate the rays less. Okay, suppose if I take an example like this, okay, just a second. Suppose I take a lens like this, and suppose I take a lens like this. Both are over here, both you can see are convex lens. Both are convex. This is also convex, but this is also convex. But if you see, the thicknesses are not same. This is a little thicker, this is a little thinner. So in the convex lens, what we will do is that, suppose we take a ray of light, and we take a ray of light over here. Both will converge, but the extent to which this will converge, it will be more. This will converge like this. Okay, this will converge like this, you can see. Whereas over here, it will also converge, but it will converge later. So you can see the difference in both the diagrams. In both the diagrams, over here, the rays get converged, but over here it gets converged, but it converges more. You can see it converges more, whereas over here it converges less. So that is what the amount of deviation a lens can produce is expressed in terms of power. So what is the power? What is the definition of power? I'm just writing somewhere over here. The amount of deviation a lens can, the amount of deviation a lens can produce is expressed in terms of power. So that is called power. So amount of deviation a lens can produce is expressed in terms of power, right? Now my question is, which lens can deviate more and which lens can deviate less? Okay, so I hope we will going to answer that which lens can deviate more and which kind of lens can deviate less. But I hope till now whatever I taught you, you must be able to understand that. So what is deviation? What is power? The amount of deviation a lens can produce. Some lenses can deviate it more, some lens it can deviate it less. So the lens which can deviate it more, okay, it converges more, that has more power. That will, it converges more, it has more power. And the lens which can converge less, it has less power. Okay, clear? So which lens, now my question is, which lens can converge the rays more and which lens can converge the rays less? Okay, to answer that, we need to understand some basics of it. Okay, to understand, we need to understand some basics. So how, now let's see a thick lens, and let's take a thin lens. So a thick lens, and over here I've taken what? A thin lens. Now let's try to understand a thick lens and thin lens is what is the lens thickness and thinness. Suppose I remove this one surface, and also I remove one surface over from here. Okay, and suppose this surface is what? This surface is a spherical surface which is a part of a sphere. This is a spherical surface which is actually a part of sphere. Now if I draw the entire sphere, this looks like this. And if I draw this sphere, if I happen to draw the entire sphere for this spherical surface, what it will look? So it will look like this. Now you can say a thicker lens has a smaller sphere. If the lens is thick, a thicker lens, thick lens, then what we can say? The sphere is smaller. So we can say it is a smaller sphere. But if I take a thin lens, we can have what? We can have a bigger sphere. Clear? Now what we can say about the radius of curvature? Radius of curvatures, if I talk about the principal axis, okay, it lies like this. And over the principal axis lies like this. So this is my center of curvature. And this is my center of curvature. Clear? Where is the focus? Somewhere over middle. Now you can see the entire thing. A thicker lens and a thinner lens. Who has a larger focus? Who has a larger focus? A thicker lens or a thinner lens? Your answer is very clear. Okay, this is lens. A thick lens has smaller focus, whereas a thin lens has bigger focus, has larger focus. So a thick lens has smaller focus and a thin lens has larger focus. I think it is very much understandable to you. Again I'm repeating myself. If I take a thick lens and draw the entire sphere, we see that the sphere is smaller. And if we take a thin lens and we draw the entire sphere, we see the sphere is much bigger. And a smaller sphere will have smaller radius of curvature. A smaller sphere will have smaller radius of curvature. As a result, it will have smaller focus. Actually, smaller, not focus. It is smaller focal length. Sorry, smaller focal length, and it will be larger focal length. Okay. So smaller radius of curvature, smaller focus. Okay, suppose this is only 2 centimeter, and larger radius of curvature, larger focus. Suppose this is 5 centimeter. So you got the idea. Now it is seen. Okay, it is seen. The formula is that power is equal to 1 by focal length. So power and focal length, they are inversely related. Power and focal length are inversely related. Now you can see focal length is small, so power will be what? Power will be high. So as you know, focal length over here, as you know, focal length is small. Small means, okay, small. So if focal length is small, this focal length is small, what we can say of the power? Power is higher, because you can see inverse relation, inverse, these two are inverse related. So power will be higher. Whereas in this for a thin lens, what we can say? Focal length is large, and if focal length is large, power is less. So you have to remember the basic things as I have explained to you. Focal length is small, power is higher. Focal length is large, power is less. Okay? So power is equal to 1 by focal length. Just remember this formula. Power is equal to 1 by focal length. This formula is something you have to know. So I hope you understood the basics of this power concept. Just remember, a thicker lens will have lesser focal length, and lesser focal length means what? More power. And a thinner lens will have larger focal length, and that means what? If it is larger focal length, power is less. You can see sometimes there are certain people around the world who really have some problem or defect in their eyes to a larger extent compared to any normal person. And you see the spectacles that they wear. The spectacles that they wear is very thick. So they wear a thicker lens spectacles. And as they are wearing thicker lens spectacles, means what? Their focal length is small. And if their focal length is smaller, okay, the power becomes higher. So that is why their eyes, the spectacles has very high power. So to have a high power, you need to have what? Thicker lens. Now from here, one small concept is there, which was there in the starting of the chapter, but I just waited for today's topic to come because I wanted to explain that part today. If I have a lens, if consider you have a lens of a plane surface, okay, you have a lens of a plane surface, then if you have a lens of a plane surface like this, okay, then where is the focal length? Okay, so for a plane surface, where is the, for a plane surface, focal length is where? Focal length is dash. Okay, now you will understand where is, what we will feel in the dash, we will understand that. If you take a plane surface, now this plane surface, if I take, is actually a very small part of a large sphere. It's actually a very large sphere. If I take the plane surface over here, okay, this is the plane surface. So this plane surface is actually a very small part of a very large sphere. So if I happen to complete it now, it will become something like this. It will become something like this. The sphere looks like this. I think it won't fit in my board also. So this is the plane surface. And this is the entire sphere. So entire sphere is very, very big. So as the entire sphere is very big, your center, your radius of your center of curvature, suppose over here. So radius of curvature is also very big. This radius of curvature R is also very big. How big? It is very big. Means very big means what? Infinite distance. Infinite distance. So this R over here I am showing it. There are some finite distance, but in reality, if it is a plane surface, then the C lies at a very far distance. This point C lies at a very, very far distance, and we take that as an infinite distance. So R, radius of curvature, is infinite. If radius of curvature is infinite, then what about the focal length? Focal length is R by 2. Huh? That also becomes infinite, because focal length is R by 2 means what? Infinite by 2. And infinite by 2 will also give me an infinite value. Infinite by 2 will also give me an infinite value only. Okay, that's a very, very massive. This value is a very massive value, humongous value. So for a humongous value, if I divide that by 2, that remains humongous only. That doesn't become small. Okay, so focal length also becomes infinite. So what is the answer over here? So for a plane surface, the focal length is at infinity. The focal length is at infinity. I hope you understood this concept. Now, if you have understood, then we are going to proceed it further. Now, if I talk about the power of lens, okay, let's talk about power of lens. Power of lens formula is what? Power of lens. What is the formula? Formula is 1 by focal length. Power of lens. Formula is 1 by focal length. But remember, the unit of focal length is what? The unit of focal length should be always taken in meter. The focal length unit should be always taken in meter. And when you will solve this now, you will get the power, and the unit of power comes in diopter. It's a new term for you, but you will slowly learn. It is diopter, D. Okay, unit of power is diopter. Now from here, one small concept. What kind of lens it is? What kind of lens it is? It is a convex lens. What kind of lens it is? It is a concave lens. Now after doing so many sums and all these things, I think you should be able to understand, for a convex lens, my focal length is what? My focal length is positive or negative? My focal length is positive. And for a concave lens, my focal length is negative. So for a convex lens, my focal length is positive. My concave lens, my focal length is negative. I know this part, okay? So over here it is capital plus F, and this is what? Minus F. Okay, this is minus F. Now, after this, I have to say something. Now you know power is equal to 1 by focal length. If my focal length is positive, then correspondingly my power will be also become positive or not. If this value is positive, if it is plus 5, 1 by plus 5, then the power will be also positive, 0.2 plus 0.2. So it is very easy to understand, if my focal length is positive, correspondingly what happens? Correspondingly my power also becomes positive. Correspondingly my power is also positive. And if focal length is negative, as you can see, for concave lens my focal length is negative. The focal length is over here, okay, which is opposite to that of incident ray. Over here my focal length is over here with the incident ray. So over here, as my focal length is negative, it is very much understood that my power is also negative. So what I'm trying to say is that when you see the power is positive, when you see a power positive, like what? For example, you get an example like this. Suppose the power is plus 5 diopter and this power is say minus 4 diopter. As you see it is plus, simultaneously your brain should work. If it is a plus power, that means my focal length is also positive, and if my focal length is positive, then this is always a convex lens. Similarly, if my power is negative over here, then my focal length is also negative, and if my focal length is negative, then it is a concave lens. So this general idea you should be having in your mind. Okay, this general idea you should be having in your mind. Okay, so after this we can proceed with few of the numericals. If you have any doubt, I will just suggest you repeat the video once more. See the video once more, you will understand it. Okay, but it's very easy to actually easy to know. If you have seen all the previous 9 videos, it's very easy. The power concept is not that difficult. So power depends on, power is what? Power is what amount of deviation a ray can do. Suppose some rays can deviate less, power is less. Some lens can deviate more, power is more. Okay, so if I see a plus 5, that means what? It's a convex lens. And if it's a minus, it's a convex. Means what? If it is plus the rays actually, if it's a plus, the rays converge. And if it's negative, the rays happen to diverge. That way also you can remember. Plus power means what? Converging ray. Minus power means what? Diverging ray. Okay? And converging ray means what? Convex lens. Diverging ray means what? Concave lens. See, it is very easy to understand this general theory. Now let's do few numericals to understand these concepts. Now coming to question number 12 and question number 13. Let's see how to do question number 12. The very important thing that you have to notice over here is the lens. Firstly, I have a concave lens as mentioned in the question. As you know the concave lens, so focal length is equal to 25 centimeter. Of course, this focal length is 25 centimeter. But since it is a concave lens, this value is negative. This part you have to be very much careful about during the exam also. Since it is a concave lens, my focal length is 25 centimeter, that will be negative. Even similarly, you can do it over here. How to do? First, see the lens that I am using. I am using a convex lens. So if I am using a convex lens, my focal length that I am using is actually 25 centimeter. And since it is a convex lens, this will be what? This will be positive. This will be actually plus 25. Okay, we don't put the plus, actually it is positive. So by seeing the lens, your focal length is positive, or your focal length is positive, or your focal length is negative, that part you have to identify. This is the first step. Now, if you then write the formula, power is equal to what? 1 by focal length, and your focal length should be given in the unit meter. Power is equal to 1 by focal length and the unit of focal length should be in meter. You know these things. Now, that means what? The focal length that we have right now over here, okay, right now I think one is 25. Okay, just a second. Okay, just a small mistake I done. This in the question it is 20 centimeter. In the question it is 20 centimeter. So you make the necessary changes over here. So this focal length is 20 centimeter. Okay. So concave length of focal length 20 centimeter. So focal length is minus 20. A convex length of focal length 25 centimeters. So focal length is plus 25. Okay. So this one small mistake. Now see. Your focal length unit should be meter. So having the unit in centimeter is we cannot do anything with it. Okay, we have to convert that into meter. Then we can go ahead with the sum. So how to convert this centimeter to meter? You simply divide this by 100. If you simply divide by 100, that gives you an answer in meter. So focal length is how much? Minus 0.2 meter. So focal length is minus 0.2 meter. Similarly over here, focal length is how much? 25 by 100 you do. And 25 by 100 is equal to how much? 0.25 meter. Clear? So focal length over here is minus 0.2 meter. Focal length over here is 0.25 meter. Clear? So I've converted the second step. So my first step was what? Focal length with the correct sign, positive or negative depending upon the lens, concave or convex. Second step is to convert the focal length from centimeter to a unit meter, which I've converted. Now use these values in the formula. Power is equal to 1 by focal length. So 1 by focal length means what? Minus 0.2. Similarly over here, power is equal to 1 by 0.25. Now if you solve it, how much it becomes? If you remove the point, it becomes 10 by 2 and minus. It becomes how much? Minus 5. Similarly over here, if you remove the point, it becomes how much? 100 by 25 and it becomes 4, right? If you remove the point, I think you know these things in mathematics. You have to take 100, you have to take since 1 decimal, so 10. Now the unit, what I told about the unit of power is diopter. Unit of power is diopter. So this is your answer. For focal length 20 centimeter, your power is minus 5 diopter because it's a concave, so negative sign. You can see as focal length is negative, your power is also negative. Over here, your focal length is positive, your power is also positive. So you can see the how it is related. So I hope you have no problem with the sum number 12 and 13. Now let's see the next two sums. Now in these two sums, sum number 11 and sum number 14, how it is different from the previous two sums. In previous two sums, focal length was given and I was supposed to find the power. Now in this sum, power is given and I am supposed to find the focal length. So this is how these two sums are different from each other. Now, so how will I find the focal length? Firstly, power is equal to what? Plus 2 diopter. Okay, and over here, what is the power? Power is equal to minus 2 diopter, as it is written in the question, right? Use the formula. Power is equal to 1 by focal length. Power is equal to 1 by focal length, and the unit of focal length is in meter. The unit of focal length is in meter. Now use the two formulas. Put the values. Plus 2 is equal to 1 by f. Clear? And over here is what? Minus 2 is equal to 1 by f. Clear? Now over here, f is equal to 1 by 2, and over here, f is equal to minus 1 by 2. Now already I told what? Unit of focal length will be what? Meter. So this is half a meter and this is minus half a meter. Now how much is half a meter in centimeter? Just multiply this by 100. and you get how much? 50 centimeter. And similarly over here, minus half into 100 is equal to how much? Minus 50 centimeter. Clear? So focal length over here is 50 centimeter and focal length over here is minus 50 centimeter. I hope it is clear to you. Now what kind of lens it is? As you know, see, the focal length is positive. As you can see, the focal length is positive. A positive focal length means what? It is a convex lens, like this convex lens. And since I have a focal length negative, that means what? It is a concave lens. Concave lens. So, I think these two sums were pretty easy for you to do. Now let's see the other kind of things that we have to study. Now, now let's see the last concept of this whole entire chapter. Suppose we put two lenses one after the other, then what is the resultant factor? Resultant, like I put a concave lens followed by a convex lens. Then what will happen? Suppose I put a concave lens followed by a convex lens, okay, and this is my principal axis. Now how the ray will be going from here? See, the rays comes parallel to the principal axis as like this. The rays comes parallel to the principal axis. As it comes parallel to the principal axis till here, then what happens? The ray will, this concave lens can do what? The concave lens can divert the rays. So the rays will get diverted from here onwards. Okay, so the rays will get diverted. Now, as it falls on the convex lens, now this ray will do what? This ray will converge, a diverting ray. So how it is going to converge? It's not going to converge like this. From here, the rays will become what? The rays will become parallel to the principal axis. So from here, the rays will become parallel to the principal axis. So if I have to draw in a more specific way, from here to here it become parallel, then it happened to diverge. This ray happened to diverge, and after diverge it became parallel. So over here parallel, it diverged. Again the convex lens made this divergent ray parallel. Clear? So you see how the two rays, when we are putting together, how it will work. Two lenses if we put together. Now what is the power of this lens? This power of this lens will be negative. So let's take it minus 5 diopter is the power of this lens. And what is the power of this lens? It is positive. Let's take this as plus 5 diopter. Now what is the resultant power? My net power. Net power is power of the concave lens, CC concave, plus the power of the convex lens. Okay, power of the convex lens, CV. Now what is the power of concave lens? Minus 5 diopter. And what is the power of concave lens? Plus 5 diopter. If you solve it, how much it comes? 0. So you can see the resultant power becomes 0. So initially it is parallel, finally it is parallel. So over here the power is how much? 0. Over here the output will be also 0. So this was when you put two lenses one after the other, what is going to happen? The resultant power will be becoming 0 if the two lenses are of opposite type but of equal magnitude but of opposite signs. One is minus and one is plus. So they will resultantly cancel each other. So I hope you understood this topic. Anyways, like this was the last part of this chapter, refraction through a lens. This is lecture number 10. I hope you have seen all the previous parts of this lecture, the diagrams, the numericals, and all the basic important points. So by this, I hope your board syllabus has been covered of this chapter, and do practice the sums, do practice the diagrams, because that is where your the questions generally comes in your board exams. If you see the last 5 years or last 10-year question paper, it normally came from the diagram or from the numericals. So stress more on those areas. And anyways, that's all I have to say. And if you have enjoyed this video for whatsoever reason, don't forget to hit the like button. And anyways, so take care of yourself, and shukriya, alvida, and take care. Bye.